Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of The Brett Allen Show. Today, we're chatting with actress Allegra Teo about so many different projects, best known for The Curious Case of Dolphin Bay, which is now available to stream on Disney and Disney Plus, which is a fun film for the family, and a few other projects as well. Thank you so much for your time and for hanging out today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, well, congratulations are in order. I know we've been working on getting a time together for a while, but you've had some huge accomplishments as an actor. You've not had one, but two films featured at Cinefest Film Festival in Australia, which is just huge. And that's a lot. Let's talk about those two projects and sort of the genesis of them and what they are, and sort of your process to getting them submitted.
Yeah, so these two projects, what I love about them is they are polar opposites. They're completely different. So I first got the audition for Pieces, I think last year in about June, then we shot in July. That film, it's about mental health. So it's about this art teacher and her art class with some recovering students, and they all kind of come together to create an art piece. And it kind of feels like a documentary at sometimes, because like the director, he's interviewing these characters, and the film kind of follows these characters as they go through life and their recovery. And what I love about it is it not only focuses on the people living with the mental illness, but their carers, because mental health is something that not only affects the person living with it, but everyone around them. So I kind of love how it destigmatizes everything, breaks down the stereotypes surrounding mental health, because you often find in movies, bless you,
thank you,
you often find in movies that kind of have themes of mental health. They portray these characters as being outcasts, and what I love about Pieces is that it kind of makes them seem normal, because they are, they're just living with a mental illness, and that's not what makes them who they are. That's just something that they're living with. So I play a character called Violet. She is a daughter. My screen mom is called Monique Wilson. I call her my other mother in real life. She's definitely become like another mother to me. She's a troubled teen who's trying to navigate her way through life, with some difficult experiences that she's had. So yeah, that was shot in 1 week, 5 days, and we had some pickups after that. So we kind of had to really know our stuff and really, really know our characters very well. So what I did was I wrote a song for Violet called Fly, because Pieces was originally called Wings. So I called it Fly, and every day before set, I would either play it or I would listen to it just to, ground myself in Violet and just, be in her headspace. So yeah, I did Pieces last year in July, and then I think a couple months later, I auditioned for Jennifer. So I first auditioned for Jennifer, submitted a self-tape, and then they called back saying, oh, could you sent a self-tape for Daniela, which was Jennifer's best friend. I was like, of course I can. So sent a self-tape of Daniela, and then they called back a couple of weeks later saying, okay, you're on hold for Jennifer. And I was like, great, I love Jennifer, because when I first got the script, I was like, I love how bubbly and happy and empathetic she is. And I was instantly just drawn to Jennifer and who she was. And so they called back saying I was on hold for Jennifer. A couple of weeks go by, they called back saying, okay, you're on hold. You're on a strong hold for both Daniela and Jennifer. And I was like, okay. And then I finally got the call saying I got Jennifer. And my kind of process for character development for both of those characters were very different, because I did a lot of research surrounding mental health for Violet, whereas for Jennifer, I was kind of more focused on kind of making myself and her separate, because I'm quite similar to Jennifer and her character. And when I act, I like to completely forget about who I am and just focus on the character. I think that's what most actors do. But so they were very, very different. I was just trying to find little differences between me and Jennifer that I could kind of hold on to see that we were two separate people. And then I found on set, I was able to kind of explore her more and more in depth, because Christine Luby, the director, as soon as she got her shot and like her vision and what she wanted, she would go to us actors. She'd be like, Yeah, she was amazing. She'd be like, okay, this take is for you. You can improv, you can throw away the script, you can do whatever you want, just explore your character, make creative choices. So yeah, she kind of taught me to be confident in myself and my choices and how I interpret the script. But yeah, no, being on set for both of them was just a dream. And the people that I met through it, that like I still talk to them every single day. Like they are my closest friends now.
Wow, that's fascinating. Well, that's very much well-deserved success. So I'm very curious, where did the storytelling journey begin for you? Because I know you've been trained classically and that sort of thing, but where did it start as far as like your interest in acting and storytelling?
Yeah, I mean, I think from a little kid, like I've always been really, really drawn to it. My cousin and I, we call each other sisters. We're very close. And when we were younger, we would always, put on plays that we made up for the whole family, like on special family occasions, and we all got together. So we'd perform it. We would like do lip syncs. We'd make up dances. Sometimes they went for a really long time. So I feel really bad for my family for putting them through that. But yeah, so we both really loved it. And then my family and I, we moved to Paris for a year, and I got involved in the school production there. And that's kind of where I was like, wow, this is my happy place. I really enjoy it. I got involved more with music over there, with singing, and I had a couple of solos over there that I was given the opportunity to do. And so yeah, that kind of made me realize like my passion for it and how much I just really, really loved it and how content I was just exploring characters. And then when I came back, I was enrolled in a couple of acting classes. I think there was one point when I was about in year 8 where I had something on every single day: guitar lessons, piano lessons, singing lessons, rehearsals for a play, acting classes. So that was really, really full on and hectic, but I loved it because every single day I was doing something that I loved. And then I think I started auditioning when I was about 12. I'm 17 now, so it's been a lot of years in the making. And yeah, and the rest is history.
And there you go. You've had some really great films. I mean, for being only 17, I mean, you've had great success. I'm very curious, like when you're not acting and doing these things, as far as friends and family, what is that relationship like? Do they see you as an actor, being on these films, or is it just kind of like, regular Allegra Teo, and they just kind of tease you and give you a hard time, just like anybody else that they might in their circle of influence?
I mean, there is a little bit of banter, like in pieces. There's a scene where I dance, and I've grown up not really being a dancer. So my family kind of finds it funny that I'm dancing in this film. But they're so supportive. Like my family, to me, they're irreplaceable. They are my support system. They are always there for me. They've always believed in me. They've always, said I could do it. Especially my grandma, Omi, and I, we have a really, really strong bond. She's always, always believed in me, and she's like my number one fan. She's actually in Pieces. They needed a grandma, and she she was kind of roped into it. So yeah, that was fun, like sharing my first feature film experience with her. Especially my mom, like she's my rock in this industry because we both went into it together, like not really knowing much about it, and so we've kind of grown together in the industry, learned together in the industry, and she's helped me grow as a person, just kind of maturing. And like, because when you are in the industry from a young age, you need that person that can influence you in a good way and can give you advice and how to like conduct yourself. So yeah, she's been really great. My whole family is great. They've all been so supportive. Like they all went to my premiere of Dolphin Bay. They were all there. We flew over to Queensland. Yeah, so they are just so great. And then my acting class at the Ali Roberts studio, they are just the sweetest, most supportive group of people that I know. And you would think that going to an acting class, you all want the same thing, you're all working towards the same goal, that they wouldn't be as supportive as what they are. They would kind of be like, well, why isn't it me? But no, they are the most supportive people, and they all showed up to the theatrical release of Dolphin Bay because that was in WA, in Perth, my home. So they all showed up, and yeah, they've always been like so kind and so supportive, and we've always kind of believed in each other because we've grown up acting together, and when one person succeeds, it's like, yes, one of us has finally got something. So yeah, they are really, really great.
Fantastic. Well, Dolphin Bay is available to stream. But when will the other two films be available for people to watch, or are they already available?
So Pieces is having a couple of screenings around WA. I think there's a couple over East. I think there might be a couple overseas. I'm not too sure, but it's mainly in WA. They've done some regional screenings. So there's one down in Albany and one in Broome. They're at some local cinemas. I'm not too sure about where it will go to streaming, but fingers crossed, it'll be accessible because it is such an important film with an important message, and to get it out there and to kind of teach people, and for those people who are scared to, talk about their experience and to reach out for help, it kind of starts a conversation, and it kind of makes them realize that, it is okay, and it is something that, some people will live with and some people will go through, but you can get through it, and it is a normal experience because, you're not alone. So yeah, I think it's really, really important to make this film accessible so that as many people can see it. Like some people who might have some preconceived ideas about mental health, they can see this film and realize, it's really not all that bad. And there's this one line that Monique Wilson says. She said, it's like, how can you tell if it's a cry for help or a cry for attention? And she says, you can't. And so to that kind of, I think I took that line away, and it made me realize, you can't make these preconceived ideas about people because you never know what they're going through. And if they are, crying out for help, you help them. So yeah, I think it's important to teach people this message.
Wonderful. Well, these are all great projects, and all the best to you. Allegra, thank you so much for hanging out today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.